Okay, so the first thing you have to do is you need to get your photo uploaded. You can go into your student account, should be your name. I've named all the files, so it should be fairly easy to find. We've done this in class before, so once you get the photo in, your first job and probably the most time-consuming part of this entire project is selecting your body, getting everything other than the lockers there. So I kind of go through a little bit here to show you very quickly how you can do it. It doesn't need to take forever. Just as long as you're not, getting any of the lockers. Some of you were spending about 30 minutes on this. It really only needs to take about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go through here and I'll just go through a couple more and then I'll skip ahead to having the entire body selected. Okay, so after the selection is complete, you'll see the marching ants as you see on the screen. And what we're looking over here on the right is your layers. So the first thing you need to do is cut it. Control X, then Control V to paste it. And then to make that layer a new layer, you have to hit Control Shift N to create a new layer. Once you've done this, you need to go to the other layer that you see there and delete it. Once you've done this, you need to save as, and save this to a folder that you've created for the Gimp project. Now, this is where naming your files actually is really important, because if you just call it Nick S, or if you call it whatever your name is, then you're going to kind of run into the problem of not knowing which photo you're dealing with. So be very specific. So this is the large photo. This is the one that will not be resized. So I'm going to save that. Okay. And then once that file is saved, you basically need to do the exact same thing to the second picture, the one that we're going to end up resizing. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to combine the two pictures into basically one movable picture, which is the goal of this part here. So you need to open as layers. This is huge. If you don't open as layers, none of the rest will work. Open up the large photo first. Okay, and then do it again. Open up as layers. Control Alt O if you want to know the shortcut. Open up the small photo second. Move them away from each other so they're not touching, because you're gonna have to resize the picture there to the right. Okay, so to resize, you just need to use your scale tool. Notice I'm using the move tool at this time, so use the scale tool. Just all you have to do is click on the picture, kind of move that box out of the way, and then use your squares there in the corners to resize it to about the size that you want. You might want to use a little bit of zoom here to check and see how much you've distorted the picture. You click scale. It'll scale the picture. So zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to fix this picture up a little bit by zooming in. And it looks like I stretched them out a little bit wide, so I'm going to go ahead and scale it again and resize until it gets the size and shape that I want. Okay, once the picture is scaled, at this point you can either make a save if you don't have enough time to go on to the next day, or you can move on to the next step. So first, the thing we're going to do here is click the move tool and move that into his hand where he wanted the small version of himself to be, and move it so that it makes sense. You don't want his foot off to the hand. Go from there. The next thing is you're going to add a background. Like I said here, save a copy unless you have time to finish this class period. The next step is adding a background. So the first thing we need to do is make this one picture. And the way that you do that is use something called merge down. So what you're going to do is you're just basically going to merge down by clicking on that top layer. Now it's all one picture. As you can see, you can move the whole thing as one. So the next few steps are pretty simple. You're basically going to copy and paste a picture from the internet. I picked a Minecraft picture. I'm just going to copy the image. Go back into Gimp, right click, and paste it into there. You could also just hit Control V. Now immediately here you need to do the exact same thing as the layer. You need to cut, Control X, Control V, and then Control Shift N to turn it into a pasted layer. Okay, so then I need to scale and make this the full size of the page. And once I've done that, now I've hidden my picture and I can't see my picture. So once we scale this, the next job is to move that picture to the front. And all you have to do is you look over here, and that pasted layer, you gotta click on it, and then use that green arrow up, and that'll move it to the front. Okay, and then use your move tool to kind of make it make sense. I don't want to, might as well have it be a picture where his legs are getting cut off at the bottom. And then once you move it into the spot that you want, now you're ready to go ahead and export this. Now this is different from saving. You must export. So it's export. You're going to save it as a PNG file, or a PNG file. And once again, name your file so that it makes sense. Call this your final photo, and then even add in there something like, with the background. Okay, something that will make sure that you know exactly which picture you're dealing with. And then click export. This process takes a couple seconds. I skip through it here to shorten the video. This kind of skips ahead. But once you're done, once you've exported it, hopefully you've exported it to the folder that you can find. And so I'm going to go find it in the computer. It's under the MC student account in my Gimp project folder. And then I'm going to open up just to see what it looks like in the end. And there's a picture that I am ready to print. Okay.